Today's encouraging word comes out of the book of Luke, chapter 12. Still in chapter 12. It's a good one. There's so much good stuff in the book of Luke that I just can't get through it quickly. I hope you'll accept my apologies there. I'm sorry, not sorry. Is that what they say? Because it's great. There's so much here that's valuable. You know, if you've ever wondered, hey, what's God's will for my life? Or what's important to God? Or what would God have me do at this time, right? If you ever wondered any of this stuff, or even if God cares about you or people in general, it's answered in the book of Luke. By who? By God himself. How? Through Jesus. He's writing in here. There's so much in here. He's writing, he's teaching. And here we are, just to sum up a little bit, in the book of Luke, we've learned that material possessions and material abundance is not important to God. What we have, what we make, what we earn, or what we collect here on earth is corruptible. It'll decay, it'll rust, it'll break, everything. You can buy the nicest car ever right now today. You could literally buy probably $1 million car. You could buy it right now. And in 50, 100 years, it probably won't even run. 200, 300, 500 years, definitely won't run. 1,000, 2,000 years, it'll be dust, right? So everything materially is worthless. That's what God teaches us. Whereas true value in serving him, in loving him, in living for him. And how do you do that? Through being his hands and feet, through serving others, through loving on others, through taking care of others, giving out of your abundance, and yes, even giving out of your own need when you don't really have a lot. It's very important to God. That's what God wants us to focus on. We're taught that here. We're also taught that God cares about us, that he knows the numbers of hair on our head, that he knows all about us, and that he cares deeply. Also means that he knows our thoughts and our intents, and that those are important too, and that we can't hide them from God. Okay, so that all leads up to here, 35 through 40. Jesus will return unexpectedly. Let's get to the reading. Verse 35. This is Jesus speaking. Let your loins be girded about, and your lights burning, and ye yourselves like unto men that wait for the Lord, when he will return from the wedding, that when he cometh and knocketh, they may open unto him immediately. Blessed are those servants whom the Lord, when he cometh, shall find watching. Verily I say unto you, that he shall gird himself and make them to sit down to meat, and will come forth and serve them. And if he shall come in the second watch, or come in the third watch, and find them, so blessed are those servants. And this know, that if the good men of the house had known what hour the thief would come, he would have watched, and not have suffered his house to be broken through. But be ye therefore ready also, for the Son of Man cometh at an hour when ye think not. Okay, so let's unpack this a little bit. Jesus is coming soon. We have to be ready. God wants us to be ready, right? So let your loins be girded about and your lights burning, right? So basically, we need to be ready to work. When you go to work, you're ready to go. If you work in a factory, you might have to wear steel-toe shoes. If you work on a job site, you might have to wear boots. If you work outside, you may have to have a jacket on. If you work in a freezer, you might have to have a big jacket on. If you work in the sun, you get the idea. Okay. So what Jesus is telling us here is be prepared, be dressed and ready to go, and keep your lights burning, keep the light on, stay awake. 36, and ye yourselves like unto men that wait for the Lord, when he will return from the wedding, and that when he cometh and knocketh, they may open unto him immediately. This is the idea that we're prepared, that we're ready. So can you imagine if Jesus came back, say, right now, and we were taken by surprise? You were taken by surprise. You weren't expecting him. You weren't thinking about him. You weren't serving him. That is not what God wants. Rather, here, verse 37, blessed are those servants whom the Lord, when he cometh, shall find watching. Verily I say unto you, that he shall gird himself and make them to sit down to meat, and will come forth and serve them. Okay, wait a minute. So verse 37 is telling us, blessed are the people that are working for God, because when he comes back, he's going to sit us down and he's going to serve us. Just as he washed the apostles' feet, just as he was a servant leader in his earthly ministry, so will he come back and serve us, those that are serving the Lord. Can you think of a bigger blessing? What a miracle. What an honor. That right there should be enough motivation to serve God from now until he comes back or calls you home. That right there should be enough. 38, and if he shall come in the second watch or the third watch and find them so blessed are the servants. Third watch and second watch and third watch would be the night shifts, right? So this to me says we should be working round the clock, that there is no off time when serving the Lord. If you have a ministry and that thing is running late and you're working into the evening, and trust me, I know about this. Sometimes I'll edit videos in the evening or I'll work on a flyer or something on the computer for all this stuff. I know one of the preachers in our church is a homeless ministry and goes out at night. I know there's others that are in crisis ministries that man the phones 24 hours. If you're working at night, you know what God's saying? Good for you. Keep it up. Okay. We have to be ready at all times. And here we go. 39. And know this, if the good man of the house had known what hour the thief would come, he would have watched and not suffered his house to be broken through. Be ye therefore ready also, for the Son of Man cometh at an hour when ye think not. Okay, so if you've ever had your house broken into, unfortunately mine has, how badly did you just want to be there to catch the person? How badly did you just want to nip that thing in the bud and flash the light on them or call the cops or, I don't know, hit them with a baseball bat? But to be there, to be present and prepared, God's saying, be ready. You know, God's saying, when I return, I want you ready to go. I want you 100% in, saying, oh, there you are, Jesus. I've been waiting for you. I've been up all night, because he's going to come like a thief in the night. What that means is he's going to come unexpectedly, where people are going to be completely blown away that he's here. They're going to be shocked. They're not going to know what to say. And guess what? By then it'll be too late to go back and serve him. So what we do now, and it's not too late now. So like, you know, if you're not serving the Lord, if you're listening to this thinking, oh my gosh, I haven't done anything, that's fine. Start right now. Share this message. Make your own message. Do your own Bible study. Come to church. Come to Sunday school. Get involved in the bus ministry. Get involved in handing out tracts. Get involved in the YouTube ministry. Get involved in the homeless ministry. There's so many ministries you can get involved in that all should lead to the gospel. All should lead to a salvation message. All should lead to everyone understanding and knowing who Jesus is. That's your task. It's my task. God's saying, get to it now. The encouraging word here is that he loves us. He cares about us. And this is what's important to him. So we now are locked in on what's important to the Lord. And God's saying, okay, now you know I've given you the information. What are you going to do about it? Me? I'm going to keep serving the Lord. I'm going to dial it up and do more than I have been doing, because I know I can always do more. There's always room for improvement. I advise you to do the same. Let's get after it. Let's not be caught sleeping. Let's be about the Lord 24/7, and let's keep our priorities there. And if we do that, we'll be blessed. I hope it's a blessing to you. I'll send you another one tomorrow. Take care.